Well, let's start with a close-up of the trees on the right-hand side. All I've really done is tidy up around the foliage on those trees and broken up the distant ridge of trees a little bit as well, the purple ones. And the trunks, obviously, on those trees. So let's back up to the painting as a whole. I'll tell you what I have planned next. And find myself a chair here. Let's see if I guessed it. Am I in frame? Good enough. Yeah, so this is okay. Now I'm going to strengthen this. I've put a couple of branches in here and there. Try to make it a little more interesting. Didn't want these trunks to be to stand out too much, as I mentioned. These trunks will still get a little bit of work. Maybe just the odd stroke, don't know yet, don't need to know yet. What I do know, and if you're not sure what to do on a painting, find an area that you know what to do on and work on that. That's just laying more groundwork for you to reference when you go to other areas that you previously were unsure of, and now your opinion may solidify. It's helpful. So in my case, what I'm going to do is, I would like the strength coming in from the left. Yes, it's panoramic, but there's enough information here to carry the eye through the painting successfully. The focal area will be around here. This is still very weak. We knew that. Not a problem. What I'm going to need to do is make some of these rocks a little bit stronger in the distance. As I've mentioned, I'm going to take some of these colors a little bit, raise the value of the water, especially on the left, not tapering off. Not so much on the right, we're going to taper off. And in the spirit of making this more interesting, we have to get rid of these holes. One part of that was to add a branch here, and I may add another one. We'll see how that goes. But what I also need to do is put some color in here. You know, even though the form may not be so strong back there of the bush, something needs to be done. If it's not going to be form, it needs to be color. So that's what we'll do. We'll take some of these colors from this bush, and we're going to introduce them in a loosely organized manner as we move to the left. I may have a hint of it over here somewhere later in the painting. Another thing I don't have to decide just yet. So, yeah, I'm going to just grab some of these colors. Not quite as strong as this. I've gone into some cadmiums here. I think I'll probably just mix some yellow ochre, cadmium red, no, yellow ochre, alizarin crimson, and a touch of ultramarine blue and some white to warm up this area. Put in a few strokes there. And then I will put highlights on top of those strokes using cad yellow medium. Probably a little bit of cad red at that point. And just lay it into the softer, warmer colors that I have here. I have to differentiate those from this bush. So I have to be kind of careful. I may end up darkening, you know, a couple of the strokes on the foreground bush. Might not. I'm not too worried about it yet. And there's a good chance these rocks get shortened. I might shut them down right there, you know, and darken this. All that is to come. Don't know. Another day of not getting a whole lot done. Murphy's Law kind of dictated the weekend. On Sunday, my wife's car decided to take a hiatus, and it's not an old dump of a car. It's a beautiful car to drive. It's not my favorite, but it's a newer Volkswagen, and those cars need a lot of care and attention. So because everything these days in newer cars is computer controlled, whereas not that many years ago, if the carburetor went out of adjustment, I could work on things a little bit myself. I can't touch that stuff anymore. I'm a moron when it comes to electronics and computers on cars. And then the computer decides things for you, and they're not always that helpful. Anyway, comes down to, it looks like the car just needs a tune-up. The computer got all dramatic about it and decided to make the car run really poorly. Anyway, I guess the good thing is it was a firm warning to us to get it into the garage. So today got the car into the garage. We should be able to get it back tomorrow. And my daughter and I found a car for her as well. So tomorrow that should get taken care of. So we'll probably go pick up her car, and hopefully my wife's car will come out of the garage. And the only reason I'm blithering and boring you with this car material is that I know a lot of you guys think of this as a vlog, and I guess in a lot of times it is. It's a painting vlog. But I thought I'd give you this long line of weak excuses as to why I haven't done much work. That's because with a lack of vehicles, and we live out in the countryside, I've had to do a fair bit of ferrying people around, shall we say. That always falls down to Dad. Or, it ends up being Dad's job. I'm lucky, I can work at home. So I've been spending a lot of time driving around and looking at different things and what have you. Yeah, so that's why I haven't gotten a lot done. Oh, that's what I wanted to say. This is really important for me personally. For me to get going on a painting, I sort of grow a feeling or an attitude about a composition, and I want to do things in a certain way. I like music. I like the dance, the visual dance of things. I only manage to achieve it when I can get large blocks of time, uninterrupted, to lay paint in there and just sort of, what would you say, get in tune with your own design, maybe? Maybe that's the way of putting it. I don't want to sound too flaky, but there is something to that. The way the past week has gone, more or less, I'm either expecting a phone call, or I have to give a phone call, or make appointments, or, as I said, drive around. So I've only been able to sort of peck away at things. The result regarding the painting is that it's a much weaker painting. I have to compensate for that weakness in design and that inability to just flow over the thing quickly and lay things in quickly by making the painting more rich. So that's what I'm working on now. I'm trying to enrich the colors here, make it what will still be a strong painting, but not so much strength in form as it would be as a line drawing, but to make it a strong painting as in, boy, that painting's got a lot of different colors in it. Some of them don't even make sense, but sort of they do. That's what I'm poking at. I'm not promising anything great for tomorrow either, because I still have some chores to do that way, regarding the cars and what have you. I'm probably won't take you along for any real painting until I start a fresh canvas again, because at this point I'm just poking at it, 10 minutes, 30 minutes, half an hour here and there, and that's fine, but it's not the way I prefer to do things. So, another hello, partly just to say hi, partly to keep the algorithm happy, because if I don't publish videos on a regular basis, the algorithm kind of says, okay, this guy's stopped doing things, he's getting lazy, so we won't expose, we won't promote his channel. So I have to watch that, you know. I just, you know, Big Brother's watching. Thanks for your patience. Talk to you soon.